Sometimes a celebrity can say something so outrageous in an interview that their career's nearly ruined.
Are you worried you're going to relapse?
No.
Why?
Because I'm not going to, period, the end.
But how do you
I blinked
know?
and I cured my brain. That's how. Everybody has the power, just because everybody, can't is the cancer of happen.
But that's just one of many more disastrous celebrity interviews we're about to see. It's 2019, and Liam Neeson makes this catastrophic remark while on this interview for The Independent.
I'll tell you a story. This is true. I'm not going to use any names, but I was away and I came back and she told me she had been raped, but she handled the situation of the rape in the most extraordinary way. Did she know who it was? No. What colour were they? She said it was a black person. I went up and down areas with a cosh, hoping I'd be approached by somebody. I'm ashamed to say that. And I did it for maybe a week, hoping some black bastard would come out of a pub and have a go at me about something, so that I could kill him.
The cosh Neeson's referring to is slang in the UK to mean a bludgeon, like a policeman's baton. The interview took place just a few weeks before the release of his latest film at the time, Cold Pursuit. When he was invited to promote it on Good Morning America, he addressed his comments on live television.
And it really shocked me, this primal urge I had. It shocked me and it hurt me. I did seek help. I went to a priest. I heard my confession. I was reared a Catholic. I had two very, very good friends that I talked to. And believe it or not, power-wogging. Show honour to my stand up for my dear friend in this terrible medieval fashion. And I'm a fairly intelligent guy, and that's why it kind of shocked me when I came down to earth after having these horrible feelings. Luckily, no violence occurred, ever. Thanks be to God.
Neeson's interview stopped Cold Pursuit from being a flop, and the actor's career has been slowly recovering since then. Being honest saved Neeson's career, but the next celebrity's lies ruined hers and almost killed people. In 2013, social media and wellness guru Mel Gibson made a series of posts on social media, claiming that this malignant cancer that had been affecting her since 2009 was finally cured. So this news, coupled with Gibson's launch of the hit app, The Whole Pantry, garnered her success and a fortune, with thousands of people desperately seeking a cure for cancer. However, a media training video that was leaked to the Australian press revealed that something wasn't right.
So, Belle, looking at what you've announced on your social media, you've said that the cancer is now in your blood and your spleen and your brain and your uterus and your liver. That's really, it's serious now, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm going to get tested for ovarian cancer. I no longer have cancer in my uterus. Woohoo!
Gibson probably could have gotten away with her con if her claims about giving money to charity hadn't been investigated and found to be completely made up. And finally, we see her influencer career crash and burn during the legendary disastrous interview with 60 Minutes Australia.
I mean, 2009 was a really bad year for you, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You had 3 heart operations. You suffered 2 cardiac arrests. You died twice on the operating table. You had a stroke. And you were diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumour and given 4 months to live.
Correct. And
all that happened.
I still have the heart condition, and I was supposed to have surgery for that.
You were supposed to have surgery.
And I didn't.
And why did you tell people that you had 3 surgeries?
At the time, I think going back, I was late teens, and I was going through a lot of emotional trauma and a lot of abuse at the time.
You're saying he never ever told you that you had cancer throughout your body. Did he ever say that to you?
He did.
So he's lying, you're not lying.
I am not lying. He definitely told me that my brain tumour is still present and that I have new and secondary cancers.
And how did he assess that?
In the same way that Mark did. Similar machines and similar equipment.
Did you think to go to a doctor? Did you think to go to the hospital? Did you think to get this checked out?
Not really, not initially.
Who followed you? Mm-hmm. Whose heart went out to you when you wrote about how unwell you were, how well you were, your progress, your decline. These people who cried for you. Have you thought about them? I know you sit here and tell me how you feel. Have you thought about how they're feeling at the moment?
In the same way I just said, I put them in my shoes and I know that they're feeling the same way I feel.
Well, some of them want you to go to jail. That's how they feel.
Gibson ain't influencing anybody now, and she received a $410,000 fine, which she hasn't paid yet at the time of this writing. She knew what she was doing, and it was wrong, but did it anyway, unlike Michael Jackson, who didn't see what could possibly be wrong about his disturbing behavior. God rest him, the legendary pop star's career ended with a single disastrous interview that exploded in the early 2000s.
When Gavin was there, he talked about the fact that he shares your bedroom.
Yes.
Can you understand why people would worry about that?
Because they're ignorant.
But is it really appropriate for a 44-year-old man to share a bedroom with a child who is not related to him at all?
That's a beautiful thing.
That's not a worrying thing?
Why should it be worrying? Who's the criminal? Who's Jack the Ripper in the room? This is a guy trying to help heal a child.
Jackson had been accused of child abuse and paid a huge out-of-court settlement a decade before this. And shockingly, the interview just goes downhill from there.
Did you ever sleep in the bed with them?
No. But I have slept in the bed with many children. I sleep in the bed with all of them. When Macaulay Culkin were little, Kieran Culkin would sleep on this side, Macaulay Culkin's on this side, his sister's in there. We're all just jamming the bed.
The problem that when you actually invite children into your bed, you never know what's going to happen.
But when you say bed, you're thinking sexual. They make that sexual. It's not sexual. But we're going to sleep. I tuck them in. I put a little music on, and do a little storytelling. I read a book. It's very sweet. Put the fireplace on. Give them hot milk. You know, we have little cookies. It's very charming. Very sweet.
Sure.
It's what the whole world should do.
Jackson's career just couldn't recover after this, and the pop star's admission gave us a look into his mental state. But this wouldn't be the first celebrity that was so out of it that they just couldn't admit they were doing something wrong in an interview. Like in this next infamous case. TV chef Paula Deen found herself in hot water after allegedly making a shocking statement. Well, what I would really like is a bunch of little who wear long-sleeve white shirts, black shorts, and black bow ties. You know, in the Shirley Temple days, they used to tap dance around. Ooh. Deen would try to defend herself on the Today Show in 2013, only to completely tank her career.
Yes, that you have used a word that is the most offensive word you can use to describe an African American. And you've talked about this wedding you wanted to plan, that plantation-style wedding, whether you use the N-word or not. So how does someone use the N-word, whether in anger or in a joke or in private, the most offensive word to African Americans, and not be considered a racist?
Yes. The day I used that word, it was a world ago. It was 30 years ago. I had a gun put to my head.
Any doubt in your mind that African Americans are offended by the N-word?
I don't know, Matt. I have asked myself that so many times because it's very distressing for me to go into my kitchens and I hear what these young people are calling each other. It's very, very distressing.
You've never joined in on that language?
No, absolutely not. Wonderful support. And I tell you what, if there's anyone out there that has never said something that they wish they could take back, if you're out there, please pick up that stone and throw it so hard in my head that it kills me. Please.
Her time in the spotlight ended shortly after that, and multiple chains like Walmart had been taking her products off the shelves. But this wouldn't be the first celebrity to destroy their career for acting unprofessionally. However, British journalist Piers Morgan experienced the lowest point in his career when one of his guests criticized him on air for his unprofessional conduct.
Viewers to know, they must know because they're probably following you on Twitter. I mean, you can't even pay attention for 60 seconds. You're a terrible interviewer.
Well, you just weren't keeping my attention. That's
Well,
more
but
an issue
that's
for you
not
than
my
me.
problem.
Well, it is your problem.
This is your show. You have to pay attention to the guests that you invited on your
If
show.
they're interesting enough.
Yeah, they are. Listen, it doesn't matter how interesting I am. You signed up for this job.
Of course it does.
Well, maybe that's why your job is coming to an end.
Wow. From This Means War, opposite Reese Witherspoon, and back, of course, with Chelsea Handler, clearly displaying her incredible acting chops there. Well, I didn't write that, obviously. Just a little joke.
You're so funny.
Do you think
You're so funny. Sometimes I forget to laugh.
Are you a good actress?
I'm not a bad actress. I can act like myself. That's better than I can say for some people. But I mean, I'm sure I'll just continue working in some capacity. Probably not the same one.
I read that you were toying
Thank
with the
you for
idea.
letting me finish my thought.
Well, I was getting bored with it.
You're such a good interviewer.
You were just rambling a bit, so I decided to improve your work.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
The interview was the last nail in the coffin for Morgan's show, which was canceled shortly after in February 2014. Now, bad conduct on set is one thing, but coming clean about lying for years, that's a surefire way to end a career. Professional road racing cyclist and 7-time Tour de France winner Lance Armstrong came under fire in 2012 after an investigation revealed he'd been doping himself for years. It all came to light during an Oprah interview that ended his career.
I'd like you to walk me through it. Were there, pill deliveries and blood in secret refrigerators? How did it work?
I will start my answer by saying that this is too late. I view this situation as one big lie that I repeated a lot of times.
Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
Did you ever blood dope or use blood transfusions to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
Deal to you. Did it feel wrong?
At the time?
Mm-hmm.
No.
It did not even feel wrong?
No. It's scary.
Did you feel bad about it?
No. Even scarier.
Did you feel in any way that you were cheating?
No. The scariest.
Now, to his credit, he did publicly admit his mistakes and his inappropriate behavior at the time.
Were you a bully?
Yeah, I was a bully. I tried to control the narrative, and if I didn't like what somebody said, and for whatever reasons in my own head, whether I viewed that as somebody being disloyal or as a friend turning on you or whatever, I tried to control that and said that, that's a lie, they're liars.
The up-and-coming star of the MCU, Jonathan Majors, has come under fire after being accused of abusing his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari. Majors' behavior towards Grace had been erratic, with a strange, unhinged rant against her after she had gone out one night.
Do you really know, baby? Do you really?
Yes.
Then how dare you come home drunk and disturb the peace of our house when we have a plan? I would like to get to Ira Scott King. You know who that is? That's Martin Luther King's wife. Michelle Obama, Barack Obama's wife.
I know, I'm not, I shouldn't have gone out, I'm sorry.
A great man, a great man. I am doing great things, not just for me, but for my culture and for the world. That is actually the position I'm in.
Following this, CCTV caught the couple fighting in the street after Jabari found a message on his phone from another woman, with Majors reacting violently. The following day, police were called to the couple's apartment by Majors himself after Jabari locked herself inside the walk-in closet. She later accuses him of breaking one of her fingers and hitting her in the back of the head. Majors was later convicted of a misdemeanor assault. Now, he attempted to defend himself in this interview with ABC.
I was absolutely shocked. I know I did not, place my hands and strike that woman. It never happened.
Finger.
Yeah.
How did those injuries come about?
I wish to God I knew. That would give clarity. That would give me some type of peace about it.
But you're confident you didn't cause
I have no
them.
question. She comes. Then one of the biggest mistakes of my life. I pick her up. I put her back in the car. I'm trying to get rid of her. I'm trying to get away from her. And as the video shows, you know. Second biggest mistake of my life. I try to keep her in the car. We get out, we walk across the street, I escort her across the street. The moment we get across the street, she grabs me, she goes for the phone. I get free of her and I run.
What made you run?
Fear.
Of what she might do?
No, not what she might do. Well, I just got smacked up, you know, for one. It was an animal impulse. Save yourself. Get away from this. And that's what I went to do.
Alvin Bragg is a black man. How can you say that this is race involved?
Alvin Bragg is a black man. I'm a black man. He's a politician. You know, we are not limited to our race. The system, you know, the country, there are elements of it that are just bad.
The actor was stripped of his MCU role, bringing his soaring career to an abrupt end. Now, speaking of career-ending interviews, it's pretty hard to top this next one. It's 2011. Charlie Sheen's on ABC, and it takes the internet by storm.
All these radio rants have people thinking Charlie Sheen has got to be on drugs again.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I am on a drug. It's called Charlie Sheen. It's not available because if you try it once, you will die. Your face will melt off, and your children will weep over your. How about I tell them I'm a high priest, Vatican assassin, warlock. I'm Hitvar. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
And what does that mean?
I don't know.
Where do these words come from, Charlie?
All those words just sound cool together. It comes from my grand wizard master. I don't know, man. Stuff just comes out and it's entertaining and it's fun and it sounds different than all the other garbage people are spewing, you know?
Now, this interview came shortly after a series of radio rants following his being fired from the hit sitcom 2.5 Men. It was clear that the actor had seen better days.
Some are saying that you're bipolar.
Wow, what does that mean?
I guess that, you know, you're on two ends of the spectrum.
Wow. And then what? What's the cure? Medicine? Make me like them? Not gonna happen. I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what? Last time I took drugs, I probably took more than anybody could survive. You know?
What are we talking about? How much?
I don't know, man. I was banging 7-gram rocks and finishing them because that's how I roll. I have one speed, I have one gear. Go.
How do you survive that?
Because I'm me. Because I'm me, I'm different. I just have a different constitution, I have a different brain, I have a different heart, I have a different, you know, I get tiger blood, man.
You don't worry that you're gonna die when you take that many drugs?
Dying's for fools.
But you're only human.
Now, there's certain blends I will not entertain because that's how people go down, and I'm too smart to do that. So, you know, I'm sorry for the guys that happened to, but, you know, you should have read the directions before you showed up at the party, you know?
Are you worried you're going to relapse?
No.
Why?
Because I'm not going to, period, the end.
But how do you
I blinked
know?
I blinked and I cured my brain. That's how. Everybody has the power just because everybody, you know, can't is the cancer of happen. Mm-hmm. Can't is the cancer of happen. I can't do it. The Nike slogan doesn't say, just try it. Oh, okay. Just try it. No, just...
The actor's career took a heavy hit, and he wasn't really doing that much until 2015, when he briefly made headlines in a televised interview.
A very personal announcement that he is HIV positive. He decided to speak out now in part because he says he didn't want to live in fear that someone else would divulge it. You talked about his drug abuse and alcohol. First, are you still doing drugs?
No, I'm not. No.
Are you still drinking?
I'm still drinking a little bit, yeah.
Are you worried that in an impaired state that Charlie will simply lapse on taking his medication? I mean, you say you've stopped doing drugs. You need to stop drinking as well.
Perhaps the freedom of today might lead to that as well.
Sheen's interview took the world by storm, toppling even the meme-worthy Oprah meltdown from 2005. We have action star Tom Cruise invited on Oprah Winfrey's show for a highly televised interview that has to be seen to be believed.
First of all, thanks for coming to my Legends Ball with Katie. Was that the best fun? Was that? Yes, yes! What has happened to you? Something happened to you.
I'm in love.
The interview was supposed to promote the release of a live-action remake of Spielberg's War of the Worlds, but Cruise didn't even mention the film once. Instead, he gushed over his relationship with Katie Holmes in a very extreme manner.
No, I know what he's He's processing. He's trying to figure out what he is going to tell, what he isn't going to tell. I've never seen you like that. I know. We've never seen you behave this way before.
I know.
Have you ever felt this way before? You're gone. You are gone. You're not. You know, Katie once told 17 magazine. Yes. The boy is gone. The boy is gone. He's gone.
I am. I'm a hugger, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
I give it what I need.
Yes.
So that's what it's like with Steven and I, you know?
Yeah, and when you've been hugged by Tom, you've been hugged.
And the interview goes completely off the rails when Cruise brings Katie Holmes onto the set. Cruise became an easy target for the early 2000s online culture, and it took him years to get back on his feet, even making it as a cutaway gag of an early season of Family Guy.
I'm in love with Katie Holmes! I'm in love with Katie Holmes! I'm not gay! Go see my new movie! I'm in love with Katie Holmes! I'm not gay!
Speaking of personal meltdowns, this too is hard to beat. It's 2018 and rapper Kanye West has made headlines after showing up for this interview with a MAGA hat in support of President Donald Trump. But one question in this TMZ live interview prompts a nuclear hot take.
What was your point? What are you trying to do with the message you're sending?
Well, it was really just my subconscious. It was a feeling I had, you know, like people were taught how to think, we're taught how to feel. We don't know how to think for ourselves. We don't know how to feel for ourselves. People say feel free, but they don't really want us to feel free. And I felt a freedom in, first of all, just doing something that everybody tells you not to do. And also, it's like the idea of icons and representations. You know, I don't subscribe to icons. You take like the Nazi symbol, if you go to India, it's all over the place, but it doesn't represent that. It represents something different. So for me to wear that hat means I want to make America great in my own way. You know, when you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? You know, like, it's like we're mentally in prison. I like the word prison because slavery goes too direct to the idea of blacks. It's like slavery, Holocaust Jews, slavery is blacks. So prison is something that unites us as one race.
Finally, Kanye gets confronted about his insensitive slavery remarks, and things go off the rails from there.
We're on that. You remember I gave how many people how many people felt something that I said today? Raise a hand if you felt something that I said today.
And the reason why I feel like that is because, Kanye, you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to believe whatever you want. But there is fact and real world, real life consequence behind everything that you just said.
Now the thing is, he said something, he said grounded in reality. This reality has been forced upon us. It is a choice, just like when I said slavery is a choice. The reality, we can make our own reality. We can talk about history, but not too long. We need to talk about our now, because we can fix and start loving each other now.
Bro, you gotta be responsible, man.
Bro, I'm sorry I hurt you.
You gotta be responsible.
I'm sorry I hurt you, bro.
Your voice is too big. You gotta be responsible.
I'm sorry I hurt you, bro. I love you, bro. I'm sorry I hurt you with my words.
The rapper received a lot of backlash, and it took his reputation years to recover. An extreme opinion in public can hurt a celebrity's chances. But what happens when their own cast and crew label them as someone impossible to work with? It's 2015 and Katherine Heigl is invited to the Meredith Vieira show to give an interview that will severely damage her career.
Fairly or unfairly, a few years ago you developed this reputation for being difficult, and just recently there was a Facebook Q&A. Someone asked you, "I've heard rumors that you're very rude. What's your thoughts?" And to your credit, you addressed it. You took on the question. What did you say?
Good Lord, what did I say?
Hagel's referring to a series of interviews where she has harshly criticized her projects and co-stars, starting with her 2008 Vanity Fair interview, where she called Knocked Up, the movie she starred in, sexist. It paints the women as shrews, as humorless and uptight. Why is this how you're portraying women? Later that same year, Hagel withdrew her Emmy nomination for her role in the show Grey's Anatomy. I didn't feel that I was given the material this season to warrant an Emmy nomination. In an effort to maintain the integrity of the Academy organization, I withdrew my name from the contention. As a result, Hagel became someone difficult to work with.
I don't think I am, but I'm gonna be really honest right now. I'm not. I know I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't have to think about it. I'm not a rude person. I'm not an unkind or mean person. I have the right, the basic human right to say, hey, no, I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable with that. I don't like that. Like, this is not okay for me, without it making me, I can't say the word, but.
I know what the word is. Yeah.
The word.
Yeah, right.
Thank you. If I have a strong opinion about something, if I feel strongly about it, then I need to be sure that because at the time when I was sort of mouthing off and voicing my opinion about whatever, I didn't quite realize how fast it could, spread like a wildfire almost. And now at 35, I feel like a lot wiser, I hope.
Well, we all learn lessons and we all move on.
Yeah.
Everybody makes mistakes and everybody,
it's certainly not the worst thing I could have done.
Absolutely.
While Hagel has managed to pull herself together and find new success, the damage to her reputation will take a long time to fix.